Dear people of Great Britain, it's presidential hopeful Judd Charlton here again with my 5th broadcast here in the very heart of the establishment, the heart of darkness, the belly of the beast. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that I will be looking into when I become president is the use that our government has for words. It seems, ladies and gentlemen, that a complex web of words has been constructed by the leaders to entrap us. One of the perfect examples is the word government itself. These fuckers are never done telling us that they're public servants. But who ever heard of a servant governing his master, without his consent? It's just not done, and I personally withdraw my consent to being governed by my servant. I think a more useful term, ladies and gentlemen, would be servantment. Servantment. It'll probably take a bit of a while to get used to. It doesn't quite have a ring to it, but I think you get the point. You see, servantment. The word would be a constant reminder to these fuckers who they work for. Another thing, ladies and gentlemen, that I will be looking into is the use of oaths. It's true, everyone in this place, ladies and gentlemen, swears an oath, and same with the police, the judges, they swear an oath, ladies and gentlemen, to the Queen, to the Queen. Now, obviously, if they swear an oath to the Queen, who is a corrupt person and probably likely to have eaten people and murdered people with her bare hands, plus the genocides that she's... Of course, they're going to end up just as corrupt as her. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a very, very simple thing. Very, very simple thing. Instead of swearing allegiance to the Queen, I'll have all these fuckers swearing allegiance to you. That's right, friends, to you, to the people. I'll have them swearing an oath to the people. And any laws which are about the Queen, for example, the Queen's peace, if you get done for, you'll no longer be able to get done for disturbing the Queen's peace, but will instead be done for disturbing the people's peace. Now, this to me makes a lot of sense, seeing as though the Queen was probably unaware that her peace was being disturbed. And it's usually the people who have to deal with their peace being disturbed. So, two very simple things there. Change the word of government to servantment. Secondly, change the oath from the Queen to the people. Now, another misclassification of words is perfectly encapsulated by the naming of the building that is behind me. It is, of course, the Ministry of Defence. Now, I think it's possibly a mistake to have a Ministry of Defence, because it means that the whole of the government is working on its back foot. It's consistently working defensively. It used to be called the War Office, which seemed to make a lot more sense. I mean, it did what it said on the tin, and it went around creating wars. During the Cold War, they changed the name to the Ministry of Defence, and ever since the government has been acting very, very defensively. Now, the problem with this is that there's always some bright spark. If you're thinking defensively, there's always some bright spark who's going to come along and say, "Hey, listen, why don't we act offensively? Because obviously, offence is the best form of defence." But then you see, it would be called the Ministry of Offence. which I think is even worse, you see. So what my plan is, ladies and gentlemen, is I would like to call it, if the other thing is, why is it called a ministry? I mean, do people pray here? They pray to defence? Anyway, that's another subject. But ladies and gentlemen, my plan is that I want to call this the Ministry for Peace. The Ministry for Peace. In fact, that is such a good idea. I am surprised that no one's come up with it. I'm surprised that we don't already have a Ministry of Peace. It's just basic common sense, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll give over all of the defensive things to the peace things. You see, because at the moment what we have is a well-oiled killing machine. Wouldn't it be great, friends, if we had a well-oiled peacing machine? You know, the other thing as well is that what I've been hearing is that Cuba, during the Ebola scare, has been sending doctors to various countries to cure people of Ebola. Well, I think this is a vastly competitive move that we should be, I mean, we're supposed to have the best health service in the world. Do you know? So, I mean, how can they just send doctors and us not send doctors? In fact, I say let's go one step ahead of them and send dentists as well. In fact, we could even send opticians. I think that, and what I'm suggesting is that we get into a peace race with Cuba. In fact, we get into a peace race with anyone who's causing peace around the world, and I think that would be a really great idea. The other thing I'd do is, of course, when I become president, I'm going to melt down these statues of warmongers. I think we've had enough of statues of warmongers. I'm going to melt all them down, and I'm going to have peaceniks in their place. For example, over there, I'm going to have Gandhi. Over here, I think Mother Teresa might look nice up there. And over there, where Monty is, I was thinking we could have John Lennon. Well, I'm here at what will be the presidential palace. I obviously won't need all of that room. I'll just need an office. Maybe that one over there. And I won't need it all. So I'm going to give the rest of it over to the people, and we're going to have a creche, and we're going to take these bars down and have it as a bit of a people's palace. And I'm going to fill it full of orphan children, and it's going to be really delightful. Take those bars off, and people will be able to come and enjoy the artwork and have a cup of tea, and they'll be coming to the People's Palace. Yes, vote Judd for president of GB. You know it makes sense.